So the background of this project is that there's been a lot of evidence showing that older people living in poor neighborhoods have worse health or poor physical or cognitive capability. But your physical health is a reflection of what your body has experienced through your whole life. So it would make more sense to look at the areas in which you have lived your entire life. And this is particularly important for people that have moved around a lot, which, since we're covering 53 years of someone's life, I think that's very important. So the purpose of this work package is to first look at whether there is a relationship between where a person lives and their physical and cognitive capability. And also, if that's true, when in the life course. So is it when you're a child or when you're adult, or is it all of that together? So this work package is a little different than the others because I think the other work packages focus on individual qualities, individuals' behaviors, and potentially like cellular level. And this kind of takes a step back and says, what is a person's environment and how does that affect their health? So what we've done so far is take the addresses of people in this cohort, the National Survey of Health and Development, and link them very securely, from age 4, 26, and 53, and link them to census data at those time periods. And we've done this with two different groups: this National Historical GIS Project at University of Portsmouth, who has experience with historical maps, and also Imperia's Small Area Statistics Units, who has experience more with linking addresses to census. So what we found out is two separate things. So the first one was just looking at what areas do people experience over their life. So we're looking at across 53 years. So for example, if you look at a person's area in 1950, look at the low social class in their area. So how many people within an area have low social class occupations? If you look in 1950, that's actually up to 1/3 of people. And then over time, this cohort has actually gotten better. So if you look at age 26, only 1/4 of the people have experienced that. And if you look later when they're 53, only 20%. So actually over time, their areas have been getting better. But if you look at other things like unemployment, in 1950 it was actually pretty low. So if you look over this time period, it's actually gotten worse. So the second thing we have looked at was whether these areas, these characteristics are related to the health, the physical capability. And what we found is actually if you live in a more deprived area in adulthood, it is related to your physical capability. You have lower balance. But in addition to that, when you're younger, when you're a child, it also matters for your balance at middle age. So in the next year, now that we've seen that area is related to physical capability, we want to look at other outcomes. We want to say, is area related to cognitive capability? Is it related to body mass index? We can also, now that you see this finding between area and physical capability, you want to know how much of that is because of the individuals that live in those neighborhoods. We want to start disentangling how much is due to individuals and areas and how it looks over time. So does it matter if you have high deprivation as a child? Does it matter when you're an adult? And how do people actually experience? Are people moving around? Do they just live in the same places? And how does all of that affect your health? So kind of disentangling areas and people and time. The impact of this research is that if you're finding these relationships between where a person lives and their health, their capability, there's an opportunity to intervene. Since there's been these limited public health successes in getting individuals to change behaviors, there may be an opportunity here to pull back and do some changes in the environment to influence health. And there's an addition to, depending on when you see in the life course areas having effect on health, this will help target interventions because adults and children use areas very differently.